Wow.
Okay. So, welcome to
Yeah, welcome to Ump. That's how I wanted to start the first one of this.
Upper Midcard Productions, brother. That's what we're all about.
If there's any way that I wanted this to start is with backyard wrestling and a fucking barbed wire trampoline. If this video gets 5,000 likes, Robert will take a bump on the barbed wire trampoline.
Hold up. If it gets
You heard
10,000 likes, you're getting hit with a car.
I'd rather get hit with a car.
Than the barbed wire trampoline?
Yeah, I could. You just gotta.
No.
You just gotta jump on the hood of the car to not get murdered. That barbed wire is gonna slice you up.
Brother, I'm taking the barbed wire trampoline.
All right, there we go.
Hit by car.
You guys heard it first. 10,000. I get hit by a
How
car.
many people have died
5,000.
by hit by car over a barbed wire trampoline?
I would say that there have been more barbed wire trampolines
No,
than cars.
not a chance. You agree to disagree.
Or I worded that wrong. I would argue.
No, you gotta stick. No, you gotta stick.
I
to
will
it now.
argue that there have been more cars than barbed wire trampolines, though.
On that note, so I thought we could talk about AEW's first episode since this is our first episode.
And I love AEW, so I thought it's great.
Well, here's the thing. I'm just now becoming a fan of AEW. So
This guy's a Fed mark.
I like my WWE. What can I say?
Boo! Boo! I only watch indie wrestling with 7 people in the audience because I'm a purist. Thank you very much. I'm going to try to get them to hate me as fast as possible. I'm so excited for this because it's the perfect combo of giant WWE fan and then
Giant indie
mark and AEW mark. So, like, not only are we going to get both audiences, but we're also going to get both sides of haters.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't
I'm more excited for the people that are going to hate on
I
our
can't
opinions.
wait. Just know that if, like, we ever get, like, a good enough mean comment, I will read it. Like, 100%.
We're reading all the comments.
I will read every comment with a smile on my face. And if you have a good one, I'll say it. Just please don't put a slur in it. I feel like
you just invited all the slurs to come in the comment section right now.
I'm comment farming. I'm getting engagement baiting.
What a way. So, I want to start right off the bat.
Yeah.
The first point I wrote down when I watched this, why don't they have an intro anymore?
What do you mean? Yeah, they do.
No. Tony Schiavone going, "Welcome to Dynamite" is not an intro.
No,
I like the song.
They have a song
The whole
still.
opening scene.
Yeah, they have a song still.
What is it now?
I don't know, because it's not as good as Light the Boom, Bring the Fuse. That was an all-timer theme, and I wish they would bring it back.
It is nowhere near. If you go right now and watch the past 2, 3, 4 episodes, you're not going to see a song intro. It's just Tony Schiavone saying, welcome to Dynamite, and then they jump right into
You know what
the
that
action.
is? Now, sometimes they have the song. Yeah, they just don't. They have, like, the cold open sometimes.
It's more often than not.
It's because it's not memorable. Like the Fuse, Bring the Boom, Dynamite.
I like it. I think it was better than what we get.
I did love it. I love that so much.
I think we should go in order. So the next thing I like was, because like I said, I didn't watch AEW. Back then, I didn't even watch the pay-per-views, like before they were actual like weekly episodes.
So what did you think when AEW was announced?
I thought it was gonna flop, honestly. I am proven wrong. What, are we 6 years later?
6
now?
years. That's what I put here too. Is I can't believe AEW's been around for almost 6 years at this point.
Yeah.
2025 April. So, you know, everyone was wrong. Not everyone, but like
Me, I was wrong.
The Jim Cornettes, the Eric Bischoffs, the Roberts, they were all wrong.
I was one of them. I did not think it would last. I honestly thought. I remember being in your house and you got the AEW shirt as soon as they came out with the logo and everything. I was like, I'm not buying anything. And guess what I bought? Bought me a little bit of the bubbly. That's what I did.
Look at that. Chris Jericho is a draw. At least he was 6 years ago.
At one point, believe it or not, Chris Jericho was wanted. Okay.
So, first thing on the night, first ever match in Dynamite history. is Sammy Guevara versus Cody Rhodes. What did you think? Give me your initial thoughts.
My initial thoughts was right off the bat, his entrance. I was like, oh, they love this man.
Yeah,
They love him. So it's crazy to think that not when I started, but like I said, I watched bits and pieces here, that he was like, I don't want to say booed out of the company, but it was like he basically,
why.
yeah. But no, when he made his entrance, wild to see. No whoa pop.
Yeah, no whoa is weird. It's same thing with Judas when Chris Jericho comes out. It is so weird not hearing the crowd sing those theme songs.
It's wild.
I did the
whoa. It was
whoa.
the first episode. I whoed both times when he was on ramp and in the ring, and I was like, no, I'm the only one.
I did forget. I forgot that there was no whoa at one point. I think that was like end of his AEW run.
Was it?
I think so. I don't remember when that started. I look at that more as a WWE thing at this point. Isn't it funny though?
So.
Isn't it funny how WWE took AEW Cody Rhodes and was just like, all right, everything you did here, do it here.
But better.
But better.
But better.
I guess.
I did it. One thing I don't like that I'm glad he got rid of was the weight belt.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
I didn't like that mid-match too. Like he was still wrestling with it on in the match. I can understand if for an entrance, everyone's got like an entrance attire that you take off by the time you get to the ring. He just kept it on. I was like, oh, I don't miss this at all.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Was it the last time that we saw the weight belt? Was it when The Rock was beating the shit out of him with it?
Oh, Mama Rose. It's
gonna
be bloodline rules.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I'm feeling it.
Oh.
That hurt. That hurts, dude. Shout out.
Shout out The Rock.
Shout out Dwayne Johnson cutout. He's going to be our third man. He is...
Good friend of mine gifted me this, and I can't appreciate him more. That's a beautiful thing that will be here forever. Beyond us, actually.
Yeah, beyond that.
This will be here.
That standee of The Rock will be here decades after all of us are gone.
Oh man. So
on the flip side of Cody, what do you think about Sammy Guevara?
Sammy Guevara is cocky as all hell.
I fucking hate Sammy Guevara.
You don't like him?
Dude, since the moment I saw him. And it's probably just because I'm getting worked like a mark. But every time that man sticks his tongue out, I get filled with rage. I don't know what it is about him when he's fucking just... Every 5 seconds, sticking his damn tongue out. That's my biggest boomer complaint.
How about when he did that little spin and lay down look at
No,
Cody?
I like that. I just get... Every time his tongue is always fucking out. I
don't
know
like
why
that panda thing. So JR said on commentary that it's part of his vlog.
Yeah.
Again, I'm glad the little tidbit. So like the video package before it, that helped me as a first time viewer. Literally first, I didn't watch the debut when it happened. This is not me going back and watching it again. This was a first time watching the entire episode.
That's awesome. So, I remember watching this when it came out, when it first dropped.
No. So the vlog thing, I was like, he vlogs? And then I got even 2019 though, it's still kind of crazy that someone... I guess
vlogging was pretty popular back then. Still.
In 19? I thought vlogging was like a 2014, 15. I'm thinking...
I mean,
I'm thinking Logan Paul type vlogs.
I think that's how some wrestlers kind of made their mark a little bit there, is just vlogging.
Like being the elite?
Being the elite launched this company.
They're not. I guess vlogging it was important. I stand corrected. Being the elite. I stand corrected. Oh man.
The theme song to the vlog is the song. Jumping ahead, it's the song that the Young Bucks come out to. That's their damn vlog song. I couldn't.
Is it Be the Elite or the Elite?
It's the elite. The elite.
Okay, that's what I thought.
The elite. We're jumping all over the place, though. So,
anyway, hold up.
The panda thing,
Go to the panda.
So the panda head thing, if I'm not mistaken, he wears that show, and then spoiler alert, he joins the inner circle. And I don't think he wears it again for like years. I think he makes a comeback with it. I liked it. I liked the panda head. I liked it in the sense of he looks like a douchebag, which is, I think, what he's going for.
I think it's probably the whole point of the panda.
I think he wanted to look like an asshole, and he did a fantastic job. If there's anything I'll give Sammy Guevara, is every time I see him, I'm like, this guy's a piece of shit. Great wrestler.
I wasn't convinced at the end. Right at the beginning, the very first match, him shaking Cody's hand, I was like, that's not true. That's not
That's
true.
not
I was not believing that at all. Not for one bit. And in the crowd, I don't know if you noticed. So, WWE guy, but everyone should know about this guy. The green shirt guy.
Yep,
He was at the very first AEW episode.
Where do these guys get the money?
Hold up. Does that debunk all the theories that are like WWE pays him or he won a lawsuit for go to WWE stuff?
Well, if he got paid, he probably got money.
But does he get like actual money, or is it just you get front row? You just message us, here's your inside guy. You get front row this seat.
I don't know. I always wonder about him and then sign guy.
Sign guy. How about the
red hat, backwards hat guy?
How about the guy with the jacket? He has like the old Raw logo, old SmackDown logo.
I don't remember him.
He added NXT. It's like a spray paint type jacket he has.
I can't think of that. At first I thought you were going to mention Brock Lesnar guy.
Brock Lesnar guy is one of a kind, actually.
Brock Lesnar guy is not one of a kind.
Yes, he is.
There's 5,000 dudes.
There's no
like
5,000. Name another white middle-aged man in a UFC shirt.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Shout out Mr. Z.
Shout out Mr. Z.
That's crazy.
What a pull. What a pull. No one is ever going to hear. No one's going to get that.
No one's going to get that.
No one's going to understand that at all. But yeah, every time I look at Brock Lesnar guy, I think of Mr. Z.
That's who you think of.
I think because they look the same. They're the same variant of white dude.
How about Undertaker guy?
Undertaker guy? Ah, dude, I remember that. When Undertaker guy first happened, we're talking about like the face.
Oh yeah.
When that happened, I printed out a bunch of that and handed it around in school the next day.
No, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
yeah, I did.
God.
I printed out a bunch of the pictures of that dude's face and I just handed.
That is one of the first times that I seen something happen live and was like, that's gonna be a meme.
Yep.
100% that's a meme.
I remember sitting at my friend's house and seeing that, and we went from shock that the streak just ended to just pissing my pants.
Oh my God, it was hilarious.
That was so funny.
Like, I was shocked, and then I was losing.
Then it was just...
It was, oh God. Anyway, back to AEW. So, after the match, yours truly.
Oh, by the way, Cody wins. Cody wins.
Yeah, Cody wins, of course.
It was a good match.
First,
I give it 3 panda heads out of 5.
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5
a little
panda
too
heads.
much.
Yeah, it was alright. It's a good match.
Okay. Alright, fine. Decent match. I'll give you that. Cody, so Tony Schiavone gets in the ring. Cody Rhodes about to do a promo. And then the Painmaker, which I forgot that was his name back then. The Painmaker.
And Le Champion.
Oh, Le Champion is a great name.
Great. I hated it at the time.
Wait. What was Damian Priest's in WWE? Oh,
that's
El Campeon.
Oh, El Campeon.
So we got Le Champion and El Campeon. Okay.
Why can't someone just come out and name themselves the Champion? Like, everyone's doing the other language versions of it. Where is the Champion?
The champ is here. What do you mean?
No, that's the champ. The champion.
Okay, the champion is not taken. I stand corrected again twice in about 10 minutes. Wow. So, anyway, Cody does win. Shivani's in the ring with him and gets attacked by Chris Jericho. That went on way too long.
It did. It
went so long. Again, I'm watching it on recording. I don't get a commercial. So I guess it was okay, but I imagine I would have been annoyed watching it live. He's beating him down. Commercial break.
When he was beating him down, there was some points where I just hit +10. Like, I was like, all right, I get it. Did you see the first table break in AEW history?
Was that at the end?
He throws him into like this little table that's on the end of the ring or end of the outside area, and Cody just kind of falls on top of it and it breaks.
No, I'm telling you, I did not. You got to the point that I was skipping the beatdown. I got it. I'm a wrestling fan for how many years? I know how the beatdown goes.
Come on,
right? But the fact that I had to skip so many times, and I'm like, he's still beating him.
There was a point where Chris Jericho's walking up the ramp. And he looks back, and it looks like he's about to go. And I was like, I'm not doing this. And I had to. I grabbed the cursor and I just dragged it to the next segment. I was not doing it. I was not feeling it.
I did miss one thing.
Yeah.
Commentary is unique, to say the least, in wrestling. Right?
I didn't really so for AEW's commentary, I didn't really pay attention to it much. But I did catch JR calling Sammy Guevara a proctologist's nightmare.
Because he was being called an asshole by the fucking crowd.
He's a proctologist nightmare. And then Tony and Excalibur just kind of go quiet for a second because they're just like,
why would he say
What did he just say?
First time in what, 20 years or
Yeah.
something they've been on television. And JR brings up proctologist.
A proctology reference
Oh,
in the year of our
God.
Lord.
But no, one that stuck out to me is during that Sammy match, he's on the outside with Brandy Rhodes. By the way, Brandy Rhodes is there. Haven't seen her like currently since WrestleMania, right?
Who the hell told you that it's open mic night, bitch?
All-time great line. But so he pulls Brandy in front of Cody diving to the outside. And I don't know why, but I could be wrong. It's either Tony Schiavone or Excalibur goes, "Oh, Sammy, always the kid to run with a pickle in his mouth." What
does that
What does that mean?
I've never... A guy like me's not running with a pickle in his mouth, I'll tell you that.
The common lines in wrestling are, "Oh, that..." Like, if it's Taz going, "Oh, that scumbag."
That dastardly guy.
A dastardly heel.
You
or
son of a
whatever.
bitch.
Like, pickle in his mouth.
Pickle in his mouth. Maybe, you know what? Maybe they were trying to start something. I bet if Chris Jericho would have said something like that, it would have been put on a t-shirt.
He said a little bit of the bubbly.
A little bit of the
And
bubbly.
it sold a lot.
I
It
can't
sold the guy
believe
who didn't like AEW at the time, who just wanted a Chris Jericho shirt. So,
He's a fucking maniac, that Chris Jericho guy.
God, man. So, what is the next segment? It's
The next segment is MJF versus Brandon Cutler.
I didn't know who Brandon Cutler was.
Yeah, I didn't think you
I
would.
had no idea.
I'm not gonna be a wrestling purist or anything like that. However, I do believe that this guy plays D&D is not a good gimmick.
That's
That
not
being
a gimmick
said,
at all.
hell
Once
of a
they
jobber.
mentioned it-
I
Once
fuck
they
with him.
mentioned it, I looked at his gear, and he just had dice on the side of his gear, and I'm like, there's no way. Not regular dice. D&D
Yep,
dice.
D20s.
And I'm like, no way that this is his whole gimmick.
I love
He
D&D,
likes D&D.
but-
Like, there's nothing wrong with liking D&D. But making it your whole persona, it is... There's a reason we don't know who he is.
He had a really good dark feud with Peter Avalon, Pretty Peter Avalon, where they both had 0 losses or 0 wins, and they kept facing off to see who'd get the first win. And I think they had like 3 or 4 matches that just kept ending in no contest.
Who got the first win?
I think Brandon Cutler did.
Okay. That's his relationship with the Young Bucks coming in to get 1 win.
Dude, you need those guys. That's why, dude, you need Brandon Cutlers, you need Peter Avalons, you need Marco Stunts, you need jobber losers because they're really good at getting their shit rocked.
Oh, God. Like a James Ellsworth. I don't know how he became an actual wrestler.
Because he had no chin and people were like, dude, that guy's funny.
Yeah, he looks funny. I want to see more
I like
of
that
him.
guy with the fucking
God.
Offspring tattoo on his arm. And then it turns out that he was hitting on
Did you know-
16-year-olds.
Did you know he is the first ever women's Money in the Bank champion?
He is the first women's Money in the Bank champion. I forgot about that.
That is a stat that
Oh, God.
only WWE can
A
have.
match so terrible that they were like, we have to run it back on SmackDown.
Oh my God.
We
The
need to do that
backlash
again.
immediately was like,
Oh,
why did a
God.
man win the first ever women's Money in the Bank match?
Dude, that's a win for the fellas.
That's a
win for
and
the
James
fellas.
Ellsworth is our representative.
We've talked about James Ellsworth more or longer than this match was. So MJF comes out and he cuts an iconic MJF promo of exactly what he always says, but no shade there. Calls everyone losers. I think he calls Brandon Cutler a virgin.
At one point, I think.
MJF, I'm better than you. You know it. Fastest rising star. He was right.
He really is. I have in my notes, even word for word, even back then, you can tell MJF would be a star. Promo, in-ring tactics, after-match, just his antics. It's so wild to think, actually, that we thought he could go to WWE.
I refuse to believe it. He
can't.
I hope not.
There's WWE lifers like Randy Orton and John Cena. Like, those people are WWE guys.
I just feel MJF's perfect in AEW.
The reason he's perfect in AEW because he can't flourish anywhere else, and that's not against MJF's skill.
I don't know about that.
That's not against MJF's skill. That's against what makes MJF good. Just calling the crowd virgins. just can't fly in WWE.
Did you ever see the clip of him calling the crowd a bunch of virgins and it just cuts to like exactly the exact type of guy that you would think that they would show. It's so funny.
Oh no,
they did that guy so dirty. But yeah, he calls Brandon Cutler a dweeb loser. The match starts. Nothing really like happens until MJF gets in the corner. Brandon Cutler like gets on him, backs off, and MJF proceeds to elbow him so goddamn hard. Brutal. Laid him out.
The only thing I don't like about the match is, I get it, he's a heel. First episode, okay. He didn't need to. They're portraying the guy as a jobber. I don't think he needed ref interference to get the win.
Yeah, because he's that big of a piece of shit.
The only interesting thing, other than seeing MJF on my screen, was one part of commentary. Excalibur and everyone are talking about D&D. I think, what was it? MJF made fun of him on Twitter or something?
Yeah, he said, I'm not a loser. I don't play D&D. And then I forget who it is.
Someone reposted Brandon Cutler on the front of a Muscle magazine.
That wasn't Brandon Cutler.
Or who was it?
That was, I don't remember who. Fuck. I keep wanting to say Matthew Mercer, but I don't think that's true. I don't think Mercer's ripped like that. Or maybe he is, and I'm wrong.
Could be wrong. But point is, Excalibur's response to all of this Tony Schiavone goes, D&D has muscles? And Tony Schiavone then has Excalibur go, D&D muscles are all in the wrist, brother. I'm like... Masturbation jokes on the first episode.
I don't think that's a masturbation. I think that's a rolling a dice. I think you're just a dirty perv.
You know what they imply.
I think you're just a dirty perv. Type in the chat, Robert's a dirty perv.
So, after the match here, we have a interview with Jay and Silent Bob.
Dude, I popped. I got so hyped. I forgot that they showed up.
But you skipped an important fact. Who's interviewing them?
The handsomest man alive. Dude, CVV. I forgot that he was a part of early AEW too.
I don't know why he was there. I don't care. I want him on AEW.
He was part of AEW at the beginning a little bit.
Really?
I think he was like their interviewer guy for a bit there. I don't know what happened, but yeah.
It was so random and nice. It was a genuine surprise that I was like, holy shit. Like, I didn't know that was part of his career, that he was in AEW. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, we got Chris Van Vliet doing interviews. Okay, let's see where this goes.
I wonder if you ever got, like, the graphic. The Chris Van Vliet is all elite. That bars, cool. Dude. He should have gotten it.
First of all, if that exists, Nelson, shout out Nelson.
Yeah, shout out Nelson behind the camera.
Can you put that up on the screen for us? If Chris Van Vliet has a Chris Van Vliet is all elite.
Chris Van Vliet is all elite.
That's nice. That's nice that he got that.
He is, yeah, dude.
He deserves First episode, so much more.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. CVV, he's the best guy out there.
Is he? I don't think he's hated by anyone.
He's probably hated by like the lowest common denominator of pro wrestling fans, like the most
like
annoying.
Vince Russo.
Yeah, I bet Vince Russo hates Chris Van Vliet.
Oh Jesus! Christ.
Shout out Vince Russo. I think you're misunderstood. Yeah. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that one.
You're on your own for that. So during this interviewing Jay and Silent Bob, is the name the Hybrids?
The Hybrid 2. The Hybrid 2. Yep.
I have no idea who
What did you think about them? What did you think about Jack Evans and Dirt Bike Guy?
Dirt Bike Guy. First of all, I don't know. I have nothing to think of. He came out. First of all, Chris Van Vliet looks awkward off into the distance. I don't know which one's Jay and I don't know which one's Silent Bob. So I'm assuming Jay. Jay looks over and he's like, "What's all that? What's going on?" And as the viewer, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. And then you got them highlighted green guys coming in and just look at them and go, your movies suck. That was it.
And then they go, how about you win a match?
And that was the whole interview.
And then Private Party showed up.
Yeah, Private Party comes through the crowd and it just dances. And Excalibur goes, oh, thank God Private Party came in to save the day. I'm like, he had a fucking solo cup and just danced.
Yeah, dude. I love Private Party. I like the Hybrid too as well. I just wish they would have got... Have you ever watched any Lucha Underground or any clips from it?
Yes, but not a lot. So my knowledge is, who was that big guy? Big guy in like a...
Matanza?
Probably his name. The best way I can describe it is in Marvel. Who's the metalhead guy in the orange...
He wore like the blue jumpsuit?
Yeah.
That's Matanza. Matanza Cueto.
So I seen a match versus him, and I want to say Johnny TV, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Morrison, whatever
What the
you
hell?
want to call him.
Johnny Mundo.
Yeah, Johnny Mundo. And
Johnny Mundo. God, I fucking loved Lucha Underground so much.
I saw that. I watched what did they call her? Chelsea Green.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Recluse.
Yeah, it was like a
Reclusa
spider
or something like that.
Yeah.
Versus Penta.
Yep, good match.
That was a good match. Surprising. Intergender matches can be done right. I just don't think they're needed all the time.
Intergender matches can work, just I don't think in WWE, and I don't really know how to explain it. Unless you're like Rhea Ripley.
We're gonna skip that part. God, oh Lord.
We'll skip that.
The mixed match challenge was nice. I like that.
That was fine.
Okay, like some of the teams they got. I think like I hate Charlotte Flair, but her with AJ Styles. What are they like? Phenomenal Flair, I think their name was, or something like that. Who was it? Alexa Bliss
and Braun Strowman.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss before all the, Bray Wyatt influence, rest in peace. All of that. Just what was it? Sparkle glitter. What was her thing?
Little Miss Bliss.
Little Miss Bliss. That was her thing. So Little Miss Bliss and Braun Strowman. That was a killer tag team.
I like Miz and Asuka.
I don't mind that for like a not one PLE cycle, but like instead of
PLE. Jesus Christ, this guy is a Fedmark pay-per-view. Also, I want to clarify. I am just joking when I call him a Fedmark. Please do not insult me in the comments because I'm trying to be funny.
I hope they insult you.
They're gonna insult me.
I really hope so. I do wish AEW would do something like that, like little tournaments, at least for. I know they have the Owen Hart tournament. Help me out here. I know for the
there's the Owen. There's the Continental Classic. They sometimes just have tournaments just to find a number one contender, which I like. I like that.
The most recent one I saw was just a random tournament to face Kenny Omega at Dynasty, which I didn't go to, but did I need to go? We'll get to that pay-per-view review one day.
Maybe someday. Oh God, pay-per-view review. Hell yeah.
God, that's a good idea. But anyway, back to the first episode. So after that, they do a tournament graphic that I was interested in. Didn't watch ahead, like I said, but I was like, okay. But again, that interview has nothing to tie into the tag team tournament because Private Party and the Hybrid 2 don't go against each other. Hybrid 2 is not even in the tournament.
What I didn't understand about the graphic, the tournament bracket, was how the hell did the Dark Order get a bye?
They mentioned something about
they did,
a match, but like. You're telling me the Lucha Bros don't earn a bye week, but Dark Order do?
I doubt you'll know because you didn't watch at the time. But dude, when the Dark Order was first around, they sucked. They were like some weird. I don't even know how to explain it. We'll probably watch. There's an episode that ends with them. It very well might be the next episode of Dynamite, but there's an episode that ends with them that I remember at the time thinking, wow, I hope these guys aren't
like taking out people or
yeah, and it just there was a bunch of them.
I hope it's not the next episode. You're telling me back-to-back episodes of a group just annihilating.
It might not be the next episode, but yeah, I just remember seeing them and thinking these guys are terrible. And then Mr. Brody Lee showed up and saved it all.
Luke Harper for you WWE fans.
Rest in peace, Brody Lee.
So after this interview tournament shenanigans, we also get a promo from. Highly, in my opinion, underrated. Did they have a good run? Am I wrong in saying that?
SCU?
SCU.
They were tag champs. Spoiler alert, they win the tag titles. They win the tournament. They win the tournament. So I guess they have a good run. Scorpio Sky wins the TNT title, but like
he does a good Obama impression.
He does a why? Because they were in DC. Yes, but
they were in DC and
2019, dude, that's you're doing an Obama impression like 4 years after he was out.
Just because they're in DC.
Because they're in DC. What I don't understand is they cut a pre-tape in front of the White House, and then it immediately jumps to them doing a live promo. They needed double promo.
I feel like they could have just said everything they said in the pre-recorded live.
Well, then they wouldn't have the Lucha Brothers who then come out and. Starts a little pull apart. Mm-hmm. It's weird that both Lucha Brothers are in the WWE now.
I don't think they're hot take. I don't think they're gonna do well. I don't think they're going to be in the LWO. God, please don't be in the LWO. But I think they're going to be Andrade levels. Like,
No,
you
I
might
think
get
Penta's
one
a
push
star.
every now and then. Oh, I love Penta.
I think Penta's going to get a huge...
I love Ray Phoenix.
I don't know about Phoenix. I don't like Phoenix.
You don't like Phoenix? I do like Penta over Phoenix.
It's not that I don't like Phoenix. It's that I don't see anything in him the way I see Penta. I would put Penta... If I was running a company, Penta is holding my world title. Easily.
The guy who can't cut a promo?
He can cut a promo.
In English?
We don't need to cut pros. We're in 2025. Subtitles. Subtitles.
First, you know what worked for subtitles?
Uh-huh.
Shinsuke Nakamura's anime, 2-month phase he had.
I have absolutely not a clue what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Let me tell you something.
Oh, dear God.
Shinsuke...
Is this recent?
Forever. This is recent. This is as recent as 6 months ago, maybe.
Oh, God.
So he disappears for I don't know how long, possibly a year and a half or so. I don't know if it was injury or typical WWE don't got anything for him.
He's probably surfing.
One of the greatest wrestlers ever.
I, hot take, never really cared for Shinsuke.
I did until WWE got a hold of him.
That's fair.
Main roster got a hold of him.
NXT Shinsuke was cool.
NXT Shinsuke got me to watch some. If I wouldn't watch AEW, why would I watch New Japan?
That's
Come
fair.
on.
It's probably harder to get.
Exactly. I didn't go out of my way, but I did go out of my way when Shinsuke was debuted, and I was like, I need to see more of this man. I also saw him. I saw him break Samoa Joe's jaw live.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
That was
that at Brooklyn too?
Yeah. Was it 2? I want to say it was 2. I could be wrong. Fact check me in the comments. Might have been 1. I did not go to 3, so I know it wasn't that one.
Did you go to 1 and 2?
I went to 1 and 2. I went to the SummerSlam of the meme of Brock Lesnar sitting up laughing at the Undertaker, and the Undertaker sitting up with his dyed black hair and that face. Yeah, that's the that SummerSlam, and then the SummerSlam after that was Brock Lesnar actually busting open Randy Orton with the elbows.
I forgot about that too. Jesus.
The hate he got in the crowd. And apparently backstage, Chris Jericho, I think it was Chris Jericho, wanted to fight Brock Lesnar for that. I think it was Randy's call.
Shout out Chris Jericho. However,
he would lose.
you would have gotten murdered.
God, he would lose. Nowadays, Chris Jericho doesn't even stand a chance against anyone.
I feel like he could still go. I don't know.
He?
I like Chris Jericho.
Okay, we're getting off topic here. But something I did like, again, nobody, 20 years, have seen wrestling on TNT. It was nice that they brought interviews back on the top of the ramp.
Yeah.
Because too young. I was a wee little lad when WCW was in its dying days. So I didn't get to see any of that. I only see clips of, social media sites and YouTube and stuff like that. But it was nice to see. I could imagine being a fan back then, and that just a little nuance there, doing interviews on stage, the run-ins a lot were.
Did they have the commentary booth by the ramp? I wasn't paying attention to that. Or was it behind the ring?
Oh, it was by the ramp. No.
Wasn't it? Because they put it by the ring now.
I can't. No, they switch it back and forth. At least currently.
They do.
It depends on the venue.
That's fair.
Because
they're running bingo halls.
So, after that, back real quick, little tidbit about SCU. Their merch should sell. I don't know if it did back then, but tell me. So you're saying Suplex City and just the name of the town can sell that many t-shirts, but this is the worst town I've ever been in with something that represents that town in the background.
I agree. However, this is going to be a hot take. I think Brock Lesnar's a bigger draw than SCU. Personally,
that's a hot take.
I don't mean to cause problems, but Brock Lesnar, bigger star than SCU, in my opinion. I never really cared for SCU.
You didn't?
I never cared for Kazarian when I watched TNA.
I didn't watch TNA either.
I love TNA. We'll talk. Don't worry, I'll show you some TNA.
If you don't like TNA.
So Kaz I never cared for. Christopher Daniels I always thought was cool, but they never... No! Christopher Daniels has just never been used, like, to his full potential.
Is Christopher Daniels the one in, recently in AEW that he was backstage caught blading?
Yeah, he was caught...
he was caught, like, smashing his... Before the
God
camera
damn
cuts
it. Yeah. God damn it, guys.
And then he just goes...
Just poor, yeah.
like he was there this whole time.
Like, fuck, you should... If someone should have told him that they caught it on camera, and he should have just been like, oh my God, instead of just... like fucking, it's like the toys from Toy Story, and Andy just walked in.
He just stopped. Oh, so next up, the next match is Pac versus
Hangman.
Great.
Match.
They love that they're TV 14 because I think they said bastard like 14,
yeah. JR
15 times in the span of 30 seconds.
He would repeatedly be like, "Yeah, you just really like saying bastard, don't you, Excalibur? I think you like saying bastard, JR."
So this is... I think this is why I didn't like Hangman, because the few bits and pieces I would see of AEW in its early days, I don't like this version of him. I don't know if it's the chaps, I don't know if it's the hairstyle, I don't know what it is. I can get behind a cowboy-themed gimmick. There's place for that in wrestling. I just don't think he executed it well in the very beginnings.
I didn't... Not that I didn't not like him. I liked Hangman, but I didn't really start thinking, oh, this guy is actually like one of the best wrestlers in the world right now until he went insane against Swerve. So like I get what you're saying.
That's when I started paying a little more attention.
His world title reign I thought was all right, but like you beat Kenny Omega, he's Kenny Omega. You're not gonna have a better title reign than that. And I thought it was all right, but when he burnt down Swerve's house, that's when I was like, this guy's one of my favorites right now. This guy is...
It only took him, 5 years?
But he was also, like, I don't know. I think because he's the main character of AEW, so he had to start here, but he, like, kind of started here.
He did. They said he just
did have the
fresh
world
off
title.
The loss in a world championship match. He started up here.
He wasn't winning the title. There was Chris Jericho was getting that title to start.
Oh, my God. He jumped ship. They better give him the title. Oh my God! I bet that was a lot of heat for him back then.
Yeah, I bet
him and John Moxley / Dean Ambrose. Yeah, those two were probably. Vince was definitely like, God damn it.
Well, I don't think Mox left WWE to go to AEW. I think he left right before AEW was either announced or started, and his whole thing was, I'm gonna do Japan. I'm gonna work indie death matches. I don't care. I just don't want to be here. And then
basically his contract, he didn't renew it. He didn't sign a new one.
Guy
John Moxley.
Yes,
I prefer him over Dean.
Yeah,
Dean. That's a safe assumption.
I loved Dean Ambrose, but
I am selfish when I say I want him back.
Absolutely not. No,
he's never come. I'm sorry. It's not best for him. It's not best for his wife. If he has kids, it's not best for him at all. It'll ruin his reputation again. But the pop. The 2 months maybe that they pay attention to him.
that first initial feud before he loses the title match, generational.
Oh my God, they're gonna just shoehorn every Shield reference in 2 months, man.
Oh my God, dude,
that's gonna be our SummerSlam match.
On the most recent Raw, didn't Seth Rollins hit Roman the same way that he hit him the first time? And Michael was like, "Oh, it's the Shield chair."
I kind of cringed at that.
Made me sick. I don't want John Moxley ever touching a WWE contract again, unless he's using it to wipe his ass. I like John Moxley deathmatch way too much for him to ever go back to shooting people with ketchup and mustard.
Now, there is one thing, I don't know if I'm the first person to say this, but why does John Moxley have like a biting gimmick? Why does he bite a lot?
Because he's a maniac.
There's other things you could do to be a maniac than bite.
Yeah, but let me bite you on the top of the head, see how you like it.
Every time I've seen him recently, so currently he's the world champion.
Good reign. Fight me.
I will tell you this. I don't think it's a good reign, but that's what makes it good. Let me explain. So, I know this is going to hit a trigger point for you. I hated Jinder Mahal's title reign in WWE.
Don't hinder Jinder.
I hate it.
Pacey, what'd you think about Jinder Mahal's title reign?
Awful.
Ah, fuck.
Thank you.
Cut that.
It was
no
terrible.
Pacey.
Keep it in. That was terrible. But it made for good TV.
No, it didn't. Jinder Mahal's title reign made good TV. No one's ever said.
I tuned in.
I said that.
Every week because I wanted to see this man lose. I was praying to anyone and everyone that this man loses his title. And what is the one stat that you keep rubbing in everyone's face that I hate?
Jinder Mahal has had a longer WWE title reign than Edge or Mick Foley or Eddie Guerrero, and nothing will ever change that.
That is blasphemy. There is no way that they made Jinder Mahal a longer title reign than Eddie Guerrero.
Are we good, Nelson? Okay, sorry, looking at the camera. I didn't know. Yeah, I loved Jinder Mahal's title reign.
I know you did.
Loved it so much.
But anyway, that's how I'm slightly feeling with Jon Moxley now. I just want him to lose at this point.
It makes me sick to my stomach. I see what you're saying. However, comparing Jinder Mahal's title reign to Jon Moxley right now, that hurts my soul.
Well, that's what happened.
I love
that's
both
what
titles.
happened. You got to deal with that.
I love both title reigns, but I like Jinder Mahal's title reign, ironically. Jon Moxley's, I think, is a great shock. Like, my big thing with Jon Moxley's current title reign is you're not supposed to like him. You're supposed to hate him. You're supposed to not want to see him. You're supposed to not want to be champion. And I know that the big thing is like, oh, but that gets people to not watch. The numbers have shown that Jon Moxley is at least somewhat, like, people tune in to see Jon Moxley.
Don't get into numbers. I'm not a numbers
No,
guy.
I'm not getting into the numbers
I'll just give you my opinion, what I think.
Yeah.
And what I think is Jon Moxley should lose ASAP. I want this man to lose the title. When's the last time we've seen the title?
That's working right
it's
there.
It's in a briefcase.
Yeah. That's working, brother.
I've got worked.
We're also not a number podcast. I just wanted to... I will just use them when it works.
Only for your benefit.
Yeah, only for my benefits. I'm going to bring up numbers when I talk about Jon Moxley getting at least 50K extra viewers every time he shows up, but I do not give a single solitary shit about ratings during any other thing. I don't care about the money that companies make. I don't give a shit about the ratings that they make. I don't care about the inflated numbers that WWE likes to spit out, or the ones that AEW does.
They do it all the time.
I like wrestling. I will watch wrestling in a warehouse if I have to.
WWE WrestleMania is in Allegiant Stadium this year. I'm pretty sure. That's where the Raiders play, right?
I think so.
Okay. I think it only holds 60,000 people, maybe 55 or something. I want to see what their inflation is. Now
what's your prediction? What do you think their number is going to be?
I think they're going to lie and say they got more people in there than the stadium capacity holds. Because when I went to WrestleMania, just my personal experience, they do on the floor add another section of floor seating.
Yeah.
So, I think they're going to go higher than the 60,000 that they keep having Jey Uso say in his promo, commentary say.
Are they saying 60,000?
They're saying 60,000 are going to jam-pack it into Allegiant Stadium, which... Again, I know we're not a numbers podcast, but I've heard that they're nowhere near their sales.
I'll talk these if they're fun.
Yeah.
I'll talk numbers if they're fun, but they're not real.
I think my official guess is going to be 64,924.
You know what's crazy? I was thinking 65,000. So.
I gave specifics.
What did you say, 64?
What did I say? 64,934. That's final guess. 64,934.
177.
Do you think they include the wrestlers when they
I
do
think
that?
they include the wrestlers,
the staff, the production.
Staff. I think that's how they get some of those fudge numbers. But also, how do you have 5,000 people working on? I guess. I guess probably.
Did you see the picture?
And then all the makeup people and everyone in the back.
Oh yeah. Back to AEW. We keep.
That's fine. That's fine. They can.
The matches are good. The matches are good. This Pac versus Hangman match was decent. Another ref interference finish.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is a hot take when I say it. The Black Arrow's got to be the best signature from the top rope.
I love it.
It's so he's the only one that does it, right?
That I can think of, yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say. I mean, there's probably Nelson will find us an indie clip one of these days. Someone's
gonna do something that makes. He's gonna do like the double Black Arrow, and it's gonna be the most insane thing imaginable. Yeah, and he's gonna land on a guy on a mat.
It turns into an ambulance match real quick.
It's gonna kill him.
Oh no, but one of the best top rope finishes.
That's another one of the things that I do that I think would be good to establish for this. At least I'm not going to put too many notes about the matches. I find them hard. It's hard to talk about matches to me.
I'm not a wrestler.
I'm not here to like talk hold for hold. There were some cool things in it, like the Black Arrow into the Rings of Saturn finish
What do you
is
call it, the
awesome.
brutalizer?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
brutalizer. That's cool. But like, I'm not gonna dive deep into the matches. If some insane things happen,
Yeah.
every match on this show I think was good. Like it was a solid wrestling show, like with like wrestling, but they were all good matches. There's nothing else to really.
Yeah. I don't.
I'd pick apart a bad match, but I'm not gonna pick
Yeah.
apart a good match because yeah.
It's good. Yeah. Like my point was, I'm not a wrestler. I don't know. Like I know when someone fucks up, at least the big time.
And I'm not gonna point out like a botch because like
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. There's no way to talk about
unless
something
it's
I couldn't
funny.
do.
Unless it's a
Like
Titus
top dollar, like flop dollar,
like Flop Dollar,
or Titus O'Neil
nearly dying.
Odds if they had, he would be dead.
He'd
right
be
now.
dead
if they had that normal LED board that they normally have there.
Splat.
Oh my God, I think Michael Cole genuinely finds that as the like funniest thing he's ever seen.
He was horse laughing.
He was. He found that hilarious. One of my favorite like entrance moments was go back to the Big Baller Brand reference here, LeVar Ball, was the way he ran down to that ring. And who was it? Was it LaMelo?
LaMelo is the one that says it. Yeah,
oh my God.
I can't say it. I can't. But you know what he said.
Yeah.
You saw it.
You did.
Nelson, if you could right here in my hand, put LaMelo Ball saying it on Monday Night Raw. And you're probably editing this right now wondering, what am I talking about? Look up LaMelo Ball WWE and you'll know what we're talking about.
That's going to be a nice clip right there. So, next match on the card is for the first ever women's AEW championship.
Yep.
And that's between Riho and Nyla Rose.
Yep.
Only one of them is still in AEW, I believe, right?
No, I think they're both in AEW still.
Are they?
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen Riho or heard of her since this episode.
Riho gets used like every once in a while.
Is she like a freelancer? Is she in New Japan or something? Or
I have no idea.
That's just me assuming.
I don't know. I always thought she was contracted. I don't know. She's a good Joshi wrestler. They just have better ones, in my opinion.
What's a Joshi wrestler?
Japanese female wrestler.
Oh, okay.
The Yuka Sakazawa. I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name. I'm terrible at that. But Mina.
I mean, Asuka's got to be my favorite.
Yeah, Asuka is top 3 women wrestler all time.
Io Sky, though?
Io Sky kicks
she
ass.
Is, not to steal from AJ Styles, but phenomenal. Okay? Like, this recent... I don't want to say this... Oh, don't even get me started on this. Most recent episode of Raw, they didn't even have any of them on there. They had video packages of the women. Women are being mistreated right now. They are being
Not in
mistreated.
AEW.
There's only like 3 women not being mistreated in AEW, and it's Toni Storm, whoever she's in a feud with, and Mercedes Moné. Those are the 3 people that get treated okay.
I don't know. I think they all get treated pretty good. They could always get more time, but like I don't know. There's Tony, there's Willow Nightingale, there's Mercedes.
I do like Willow. I like Willow.
Athena just came back. Billy Starks is getting.
Is she
something.
still undefeated? She's still 2 years
Athena?
as a Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
She's the forever champion. Hell yeah. I think she's gonna beat Mercedes for the title.
You think so?
I hope so. That being said,
I hate her. Never liked her. Never liked her. I can respect a good match when I went to NXT TakeOver, her versus Bayley in the Iron Woman match. I was in what's the word they use? The gallows.
Oh my God!
Of the stadium. I was all the way up top, but I remember just the excitement of watching that match. So I can respect a good match from her. And you kind of expect it because she's not... I'm not going to say she's a bad wrestler. I just don't like her, and I never did. My hate for her started, I think it's the Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks just back and forth swapping the title each week. Nelson, fact check me on this. Put a number on the bottom of the screen. I think they went back and forth like 5 times. I think 5 weeks in a row or something.
Nelson's going to have so much stupid work with this. He's going to have to... Nelson, how much wrestling have you watched in your time? Like, what would you say your level of fandom, if even so, is?
Are you talking in terms of enjoyment or in terms of my exposure?
Both.
In terms of enjoyment, I prefer, like, GCW and AEW.
That's right.
But in terms of exposure, not very much.
Okay.
So I'd give it like a 5 in terms of familiarity.
Isn't that awesome? We got a guy who doesn't really watch wrestling like that to record and edit these videos. He's gonna have to.
All these references
lot
and
of
references,
references,
put
dude,
right
yeah,
here
yeah.
moments. So he's gonna have such a fun
You know,
time.
Nelson, right here in my hands, put a random wrestling thing that you want. Anything you want. Anything ever at all. But back to the match. That was alright.
It was decent. First of all, something stupid happened. Why did Nyla Rose want to attack with a chair? If you are fighting for a title, simple rule since the beginning of time. You get DQ'd, you don't win.
Especially if you're not the champ. Like, if you're the champion, I get it. But
yeah, that's
I
that's
thought
a
the
heel
same
move.
thing.
But if you're fighting for the championship, and I'm assuming you're fighting for it because you want it, why try to get yourself disqualified?
Also, I'm asking that completely in kayfabe. I want to know why in kayfabe, what was going through Nyla Rose's head when she was going to hit Rio with a chair.
And I get it outside. We're supposed to just enjoy what's happening. It's a chair spot. Everyone likes.
Doesn't love a good chair.
Everyone likes when furniture gets broken.
Like that dude in those clips earlier that took one to the back of his skull.
Oh my god, that was crazy. The potted plant.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mitch Nelson.
Shout out to
Another
Mitch
task for you. Put Mitch in my hand. Have fun with that one. So, no.
Yeah, you'll know.
You'll find out.
You'll find out.
So,
Just look up
there's a-
WWE Mitch. Actually, wasn't that one of the Spirit Squad members?
Oh my god. Type in Dean Ambrose, WWE Mitch. Then you'll be good. You don't want to go through the rabbit hole that was the Spirit Squad
Yes, you do. You know what?
versus DX. Oh my
Spirit
god.
Squad deep dive coming. There was a point. I think they were inside the ring where Rio hits a double stomp on Nyla, and Nyla just stands up.
Oh,
I thought that was pretty funny.
I don't know if she meant to do it to look like a beast or she didn't know the spot was coming.
I think
and
that
she
was-
went to stand up and Rio just tumbled over.
No, I think that's what it was supposed to. I think it was supposed to be this 100-pound lady's trying to double stomp the beast, and she just goes, "Get the fuck off me!"
The ending, I guess, is because I'm unfamiliar with her moveset. I didn't know the double knee was her finish.
I forgot about that too.
So it kind of came out of nowhere. I did like one little thing that she did. So Nyla got out of the way of the first running knee. And like I think all the time, I'm like, why not just do it now? Their back's turned. And that's what Riho did. She just turned around as Nyla's like, didn't get me. Right in the back
Laid
of the
him
head.
out.
It just made sense. And sometimes when wrestling makes sense, it's good. And I like those little aspects there. I did like on commentary that they filled me in about Kenny Omega training Riho.
Yep.
I
Does
don't
that
know
make
if it-
sense when
I was
Kenny
gonna
Omega?
say, hey, I don't know if it was just for this match or just in general when Kenny Omega was in Japan. And they were, I don't know, I guess in Japan together at some point.
In the beginning of AEW, they did push pretty hard that Riho was trained by Kenny Omega, because the big fucking Jim Cornette bullshit at the time was him being like, oh, fucking Riho's Kenny Omega's Japanese sex doll type things. He was saying some heinous stuff about Riho.
Nelson, you could cut that. We don't need
No,
to
you
mention
no
this.
no no no
We don't
no.
need to mention
You
this.
keep that in. Keep that in, because I want people to know the stupid ass shit that Jim Cornette says. Completely unrelated to Jim Cornette. I did give this match 2.5 cuck chairs out of 4.
Oh god. This was. I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a 2. I wasn't interested really. It was a feel good moment at the end. I really wished who was the interviewer at the
Michael
end?
Nakazawa.
I
Oh,
wanted him
Jesus
to say
Christ.
whatever he wanted to say, and Nyla Rose just attacking both of them. I guess it's on character for her. I guess it makes sense. They did what they set out to do. I wanted to hear him talk. She didn't let it happen. I'll give them that. Kenny Omega makes a save
I
before
think
Riho
you would
gets destroyed.
I think you would absolutely love Michael's gimmick in AEW.
What is it?
Baby oil.
I'll look it up by next episode.
He just oils himself up. Oil up.
All right, nice
Oil
try,
up.
Diddy.
No, I'm serious.
All right, and so after that match, what did we get after that match? Oh, I forgot to mention that match. She was such a non-factor. I completely.
Oh yeah,
forgot
Britt
she was
Baker was on commentary for
Yes.
this match.
Britt Baker, DMD,
Yeah.
was on commentary.
I hate Britt Baker. I don't hate her. She's just
I didn't care about her until Dynamite was, I think it might have been a go home show, so it was actually one that they were like hyping up a little more. But it was in Pittsburgh, and I didn't know she was from Pittsburgh. I like the Steelers, so everyone throwing a terrible towel while she came out. I was like, she came out like through the crowd, like John Moxley style. She came out like John Moxley style, at terrible towels. I was like, all right, I'm behind this. I kind of like this.
No,
I haven't seen her since, but I like that.
No shade. I want to also preface that whenever I can't speak for Robert, but whenever I say that I hate this wrestler, like I hate Britt Baker, I hate Sammy Guevara, it is not that deep. Like I just want to preface that I am not wishing death upon those two or anything like that, or any wrestler that I say that I hate. I hate them as a professional wrestling character.
Yeah.
Just so, yeah.
Yeah, whatever they do on their outsid life.
I'm sure they're both lovely people.
Other than some wrestlers.
Except that time Sammy Guevara said that one thing about Sasha Banks.
What'd he say?
Not going to say it on cam.
All right, that's a conversation for after.
I'll show you after this.
Another side note, I'm so glad they got rid of that women's title. It looked so
tiny.
small. It was just ugly in general. I get the idea that I guess they were going for, because I think... early days they had like the smaller title, so when it's on the wrestler, it looks like they look bigger, larger than life.
I thought it was because Riho was the first champion.
But they kept it for the next.
They did. I think if Nyla would have won, I think it would have been a bigger title.
I was about to say some fake stuff. I was gonna say you can't make a title for just one person. Spinner belt, incoming spinner belt.
Yeah, and then it turns into your title for years.
Hot take: I genuinely like that belt.
Makes me sick.
I genuinely like the spinner belt. I don't know. I guess it's because that was my.
That's fair.
That was my WWE title. Some people don't like Deadman Undertaker, for example, because when they were introduced to wrestling, it was Biker Taker.
I wasn't. Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, I think had better matches. I mean, there might be one overall, the span of Biker Taker matches might be better than the span of Deadman Taker matches. I know he has that ungodly stretch with Triple H and Shawn Michaels in his WrestleMania, like 5 matches or something. Amazing. But I think that is where you get Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. You get Brothers of Destruction. I know you still get Brothers of Destruction with Deadman Taker, but there's some good nuggets. Plus, he's got Limp Bizkit.
He does have Limp and Kid Rock.
Biker Taker's got Limp Bizkit and Kid Rock singing him to the ring.
That's some real shit. There's only one title that I think is uglier than the spinner belt. That's that one right there.
That one?
It has grown on me. But
I don't mind this one. I wouldn't have any arguments with that. But the mustard one that they currently have...
Sorry.
The mustard one they currently have, I don't like. I don't like that yellow background that they have.
I like it. I think it looks gold. I think if they made it a little yellower, a little more gold, a little less mustard.
I don't like it. I'm hoping.
Bro, people are going to be pissed that we're talking about WWE.
In an AEW stuff.
You're just going to have to get used to that because...
We're just going to go back and forth.
WWE guy, yapper. Yapper.
Okay, so after this we're at our main event, actually.
Yeah. There weren't, because it's WWE, or Jesus Christ, because it's AEW, and I assume, their first show, they wanted to, have matches be the focal point, but there was a lot less, promos or anything like that. Makes sense.
They had time for Chris Van Vliet, though.
He did have time for Chris Van Vliet. He's the biggest star there.
So, we're at the main event. And who comes out first? I think the Elite comes out first.
The Elite come out first.
The Elite do come out first.
The Elite.
And I don't know if it was me, but I didn't see fanfare for Kenny Omega, and I was upset. I think they just, collectively like the Elite, but I didn't see any specific, Kenny I didn't see signs, I didn't see anything, and I was like, that was surprising to me, because I feel like in 2019, before his injury and everything, I thought he was going to be the biggest star there.
Their first few... I would give their first few months, maybe even their year, they weren't, Kenny Omega should have been in my opinion, I think he should have been the first AEW champion.
He should have been the focal point
Or he
of
should-
a
yeah.
new company should have. If you start a new company and Kenny Omega's on your roster, how is he not? I can understand you pulling a swerve and you want to heel as your first champion,
Yeah.
but the fact that he's not fighting for the title constantly and in the main event picture, I know we're talking about the main event of the first episode, but that takes me to my next point. He was taken out. Cool moment.
That was awesome.
Cool moment.
Dude,
John
I remember.
Moxley beating him up and putting him through a glass table. Was it real glass? Is my next
Cry
question.
me a river.
I don't understand. Back into kayfabe turns. How is the ref gonna watch John Moxley get in the ring, beat up Kenny Omega, take him to the VIP area, put him through a glass table, and not call for a disqualification?
You know what? Maybe Tony Khan was on headset like, let it run.
They did not mention Tony Khan at all that first episode.
They don't mention him.
So
He doesn't get mentioned for a while. Like, they don't really bring him up that much. The first time he gets, like, mentioned in wrestling is, I think, when TNA and AEW paired up. Tony Khan wasn't really... I don't think so. I could be wrong.
So,
But solid main event.
do you think he came out? You went to an AEW show before, I'm
Yeah.
assuming, right? Yep. So, you know how Tony Khan comes out at the beginning before they go live?
Yeah.
And thanks the crowd for showing up. Thanks everyone for being there. Say we got a great episode in store for you tonight. Enjoy. Right?
Rampage at 10.
Rampage at 10. Do you think he did that on the first episode?
Probably. I bet he came out for... I bet he's come out to every show so far to be like, thank you all. Thank you.
I don't know if that was like a... That's why I asked that, because I don't know if it was a recent thing. I know you went to an AEW show before I even went. I think I went to... it was sometime in like October in Philly. It was actually when Kenny Omega and MJF faced off on stage, and the Gee Golly Gosh moment. That was the episode I went to. Ric Flair. It was during Sting's
Oh, yeah.
final. Yeah, Ric Flair was on there. That another detour. When's Ric Flair gonna officially like retire?
I thought you were gonna say, when does Ric Flair die?
No.
I was gonna say.
I mean,
3
that's
years
probably
ago.
question 2, but Ric Flair needs to retire at this point, and I know he's technically retired, but I'm pretty sure if you type in Ric Flair, like, talks about another match, he definitely wants to wrestle again.
Did you ever watch his last match from a few years ago? The tag match.
That's a crazy statement. His last match a few years ago, but then there was a match after that, and then a match after that.
No, I mean his like the Ric Flair last match, the tag match he had with.
No.
You've never seen that?
Nope.
Oh, I know what we're gonna be reviewing at some point. It is beautiful. It is It is whatever you think that match looks like. You're right. Whatever, when I say Ric Flair wrestling match, and I think it was post-COVID, so like Ric Flair 2020's wrestling match, whatever you think that match looks like, you are probably not far off, and it's even funnier than what you think. He passes out for real.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, because he's a fucking idiot, and he was like, I gotta get hydrated before the match. Beer.
That's very Ric Flair. That's very. That's a Ric Flair moment. That's a woo moment if I've ever heard one. They're either wooing or they're booing.
They're wooing or they're booing. Wow. Bars.
Bars. So, speaking of Ric Flair, I don't know if you did this, but I just did a quick Goog of what was happening in WWE around this time. AEW's first episode.
I sure did.
This was them setting up for the first time for Survivor Series, Team Flair versus Team Hogan. And I promise you that is not flying today if either one of those people come on
the
camera.
NWA is going to run that soon. They're the only ones that'll book those two at this point.
Oh, jeez. What was it? Was Brodus Clay the champion of NWA or something? Or was it
he was champion
Control
for like
Your
a
Own
year.
Narrative?
No, he was
whatever it
NWA champion for a while
NWA
there.
champion. So where was Braun Strowman before he came back? Control Your Own Narrative?
Yeah,
or
control
whatever
your
it's
narrative. Control your narrative.
I don't know.
I gotta be honest.
I didn't watch it.
I understand the stigma behind it, and I get why people don't like it. But I liked the concept, and I thought the first episode was okay. If it wasn't for the fact that it was being run by an absolute maniac like EC3, who big fan of, I will always be an EC3 apologist. I think it would have gone somewhere, but like, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was all right. Scotty Too Hottie in your first match is a crazy move. We'll review that one too.
He passed, right? Or no,
Scotty
no,
Too
no,
Hottie?
no,
No,
not
that's
Scotty Too
Grandmaster
Hottie.
Sexy.
Grandmaster Sexy. Yeah, he died. Okay, we'll never get a Too Cool reunion.
We got one in NXT in like 2014. They got murdered.
2014.
Yeah, they got murdered. But what the hell do you want? What do you? Yeah, the Attitude Era was like 30 years ago, Robert.
Was it?
Yeah, close to.
Close to it. And I'm gonna start this podcast off with the biggest hot take I think we can say today. Attitude Era was not the best era. It was not.
It was definitely the most popular era. But
Oh, yeah.
No, it was not. I don't care.
It was not.
I'm about to paint you a picture. By the way, real quick, the Inner Circle, Santana Ortiz, Chris Jericho, they win the match.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho,
No, I know we mentioned it earlier. No fanfare for Judas. Nobody's saying.
No one's saying it. That is so weird.
And then after the match, the beatdown. I don't like that Cody didn't sell his beatdown from earlier. He's in a full suit.
Yeah, he put a suit on.
He put his suit on and came out. I get it. You want to defend your friend, but you just got beat up. Literally, you got beat up that they had to go to commercial break, came back, and you're still getting beat up.
A suit can't be comfortable.
Sell that for more than 45 minutes?
A suit can't be comfortable, especially after a match.
Really, he could have come out in some sweatpants and a t-shirt.
The tracksuit.
The tracksuit would have been fine.
He gets a shit
stomped. So I don't know. I don't like that he did that.
Jack Swagger debuts and
We
the We the People chant was crazy.
Oh my god! Because nobody knew his name was Jake Hager.
Yeah,
everyone was just like We the People the entire time, which pretty good gimmick.
I liked. I'm sure that me saying that, one, I thought Control Your Narrative was all right, and then me being like, I liked We the People, Jack Swagger, that's going to paint a real nice picture of me.
Who you are as a
Great.
person. That's what that is.
I promise I'm not one of those. But, yeah, so Jack Swagger, Dustin Rhodes comes out and gets his shit stomped.
The little ass table that Jack Swagger puts him through, the ring belt.
I think they said it was like a podium or something like
Why
that.
didn't they just grab a table?
It looked painful.
It did.
That's why.
Because it didn't look like it broke right away.
Yeah, the gut wrench powerbomb onto the podium. It was weird because, like, why a podium? But, like, that had to have hurt.
I don't think it broke from the hit. I think it was just the weight of Dustin
Yeah,
Rhodes.
He landed on it and then...
Mm-hmm. It's got to be rough for a wrestler when you plan a spot and the table doesn't cooperate.
Dude, I am the table. Oh. That's why we got this table here. 20,000 likes and I'll go through this table.
I want to see that.
I'll go through a table. I'm not afraid.
That's it. When we do our predictions for WrestleMania, which we're doing predictions for WrestleMania, loser has to go through a table.
Like this WrestleMania that's happening in
this
like
WrestleMania
2 days?
in 2 days. Nelson, how fast are you going to edit this? Maybe 3 days?
You could take as much time as you want. No, it'd be even funnier if we're wrong. It's even funnier getting these predictions out before the.
do you want to do predictions right now?
I'm gonna keep it a $120 with you. I have almost no idea what WrestleMania looks like, so
Beautiful.
That's perfect. That works for me.
Beautiful. Well, that was AEW first.
That
of all.
was AEW.
For a first episode, I think it was great.
Yeah.
There were some little things that I didn't like too many ref interferences, the obvious DQ situations. But first episode,
it was a first
great
show.
Nostalgia pop from the little WCW moments. I'll give it an 8.5, 9. For a first episode, it was great.
Yeah, it was very
fun
clear
spots
that they're trying to like figure it out.
Yeah,
because like you're not gonna.
I think they ended up
really
figuring
it out.
I watch AEW now, and I know there's some terrible spots. People tell me that all the time. The other WWE marks like myself who hate AEW say it's a terrible show. It's not.
It's a great show.
Really, it's not.
It is a damn good wrestling show.
If you don't know what's going on, obviously you're not going to like it because you don't know what's going on. You give it a shot.
Why is this happening? Why won't they explain it? Well, actually, something happened on the last episode. You have to actually watch the show it doesn't spoon feed you it like the Shield chair.
Stop, because you just told me you have no idea of what's going on in WWE.
Well, I know of the Shield
but you
chair.
see a clip on TikTok and you're like, oh, they mentioned the Shield again.
No, that's not the problem. The problem is the phrase "the Shield chair."
The Shield chair.
Thank you, Michael. I love
Michael Cole. Okay, let's see.
All right, so let's do WrestleMania predictions.
Yeah, let me pull that up for you.
Pacey, do you have anything you want to add?
Not really.
That's big media, by the way.
Pig Media, PT.
He owes you truth isn't rates.
You know he does. All right, let's see here. Okay, so I'm going to start with 7 here and work our way down because I'm assuming... Actually, let's go through 1 through 7 because I don't think that they already announced the triple threat is going to close night 1. So, the Royal Rumble winner is most likely going to open WrestleMania. So we got Jey Uso versus Champion Gunther.
I guess I'll go Jey. I love Jey Uso.
Oh, I do.
I love main event Jey.
I've loved the Usos since they came out and did the what is it called, the Haka or whatever. Before that, when they debuted with Tamina, nobody's Mina, you know. It's,
oh Jesus Christ! You're really getting deep into the trenches here.
First of all, don't disrespect Tamina. She should have been pushed through the moon, but they decided to push Nia Jax, and that's a problem.
I think 7 years later.
Exactly. Anyway, Jey Uso, we're in agreement there.
Yeah, Jey Uso's gonna win that.
So. A nothing match. I'll give you the quick rundown. War Raiders won the title, disappeared for 4 weeks, came back 2 weeks before WrestleMania, stood on stage when the New Days just wanted to argue with them, really, and now they have a WrestleMania match. There was a match that... They actually had this match on Raw. There was a DQ.
Oh, okay. Of course.
And the War Raiders won. And now they have a WrestleMania match. That's the entire build-up. There has been no build-up whatsoever for this match. There are reports of... Not reports. Internet marks like us who are starting a podcast.
What type of fucking losers talk about wrestling on the internet?
Yeah, assuming that the only reason this is on here for a Big E return. I think everyone's going to be highly disappointed. It's the WWE. They put this on just to have another match on the card. There is no Big E return. I'll be happily proven wrong if Big E returns.
Yeah, that'd be cool if Big E returns.
So my prediction is I think War Raiders. I think Triple H likes his metalheads.
Ooh, that's a good point. I was thinking the New Day, and then you mentioned that. I'll go New Day just so we're in opposition. Okay. I want the New Day to get another
Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Just pure jealousy. That's all it is. Winner gets rights to be Bianca's best friend, I guess. I don't know what it is.
Bianca Belair in a pole match.
I'm going to go Jade Cargill.
I wish Naomi would... my heart says Naomi, but my brain says Jade's winning that.
Oh, Jade. I hate her gimmick. A storm
is
coming. No.
Did you get it? Is it Marvel or DC? Pacey, is Jade Marvel or DC?
Huh? Who?
The Storm character.
Oh, Storm's Marvel.
Marvel, okay.
All right, that's our resident in Marvel.
I'm a Marvel character.
Okay. So, I'm actually very excited for this next match. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
Dude, all I know about this is that people fucking hate El Grande Americano.
They used an AI generator to build up lore for Chad Gable in a mask. That's what they did. El Grande Americano is from the Gulf of America.
Dude, I love that.
I don't understand why it got hate. It's wrestling, guys. It's all fictional.
I don't mean to just peel back that curtain and say these things because I find it cringe when people say this. But he's a heel. Yes, of course, the bad guy that is dressed like a luchador.
Who is obviously not of lucha descent.
Yes, of course he's going to call himself... he's from the Gulf of America. Yeah, easy heel heat. And I hate saying that because it sounds like it. I hate talking like that, but I'm going El Grande Americano.
Oh,
I fuck with him.
No. I don't think he's winning.
You don't think he's winning?
I think Rey Mysterio is going to win. But in winning... he's going to reveal El Grande Americano. Gable. And I don't think it is. Obviously, he's been wrestling on Raw. But I think they're going to pull some jobber out from the mask. So Chad Gable can be like, it wasn't me.
You know what? I bet there's going to be an El Grande Americano under the ring.
Yes.
Yep, and he's going to rip the mask off. And it's going to be James Ellsworth.
Oh, God.
Son of a bitch.
There you go, Nelson, right here. Put James Ellsworth on screen. Too many James Ellsworth.
Yeah, too many. There's going to be a lot of James Ellsworth references. There's going to be a lot of really terrible, I like James Ellsworth all the time. But anywho.
Next match is for the United States Championship match. LA Knight, our champion here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus Jacob Fatu.
I'm going Jacob Fatu. This is his time.
It has to be Jacob
It has to
Fatu
be,
at
dude.
this
He's
point.
him.
LA Knight, I love when he talks. I love his promo work. Do not like him in the ring.
Really?
I do not like his finisher. I don't like. It's like a very early Dirty Deeds.
I like that move. I like the idea of just taking someone's head and just be like, "Duh."
Oh yeah. Oh, you
Spike him
can
to the
dissect a
ground.
lot of wrestling moves and be like, that actually would hurt.
I just think
Of
it looks
course.
cool.
I don't. I don't like LA Knight in the ring. On the mic,
Yeah.
love him. Everything about his, outside of in-ring work is great. I don't like his in-ring. So I'm hoping Fatu takes that and goes on a monster run. That's what I'm hoping for.
I hope so too.
So now, Charlotte Flair versus Tiffy Time.
The real queen of pro wrestling.
Just know that this is a very pro
this
Tiffany Stratton.
This is an extremely pro Tiffany Stratton podcast. It's Tiffy time.
It's
Tiffy
always Tiffy
Tiffy
time.
is awesome.
Yes. She has to win. She has to win.
She has to, especially with all the
Because I want her to.
Yeah,
That's really
absolutely.
it. Yes. Tiffany Stratton's winning. I don't think there's any more comments we need to make. Tiffany Stratton is better than Charlotte Flair in every way, shape, face, or form.
Real.
You put Tiffany Stratton in any era, and she is dominating. So, triple threat match. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, our tribal chief, versus this new version of an old version of Seth Rollins. I think he's coming back to the Architect form.
I think Seth Rollins is gonna be with Paul Heyman after WrestleMania.
I don't think so. I think they portrayed that very well to get the internet community to start spreading that like wildfire.
I'm misinformed and I have not watched anything, but that is my rock solid opinion. That's right.
I think CM Punk is going to win.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Should Seth Rollins win because he's been taking losses to everyone?
Seth Rollins never gets the win.
He doesn't.
He won it. He cashed in on Brock and Roman 10 years ago, and he has just lost
Since his knee injury.
Yeah.
God, pre-knee injury, Seth Rollins was a
beast.
Beast Slayer, actually. CM Punk has to win. I think it's going to be his only main event. He's never main eventing WrestleMania again. It was the whole reason he left 10 years ago. Not the only reason, but a big part that they didn't treat him well. He's got the main event spot now. Give him the win. I'm going to be repping my Punk merch. Punk is going to win this match and close out the end of night 1 of WrestleMania. CM Punk, winner for the soul of WWE.
If I talked about CM Punk the way I want to talk about CM Punk, I don't think it would go over well. So I'm just going to say Seth Rollins is winning. That being said, main eventing night 1 of a buy one, get two extravaganza. Huh.
You tell me in that moment, when the fireworks are going off, that's not the end of a WrestleMania for you.
It is not the end of a WrestleMania.
It is.
The end of a WrestleMania should be championships. Because when you break down pro wrestling, that is what it should, in my opinion. Wrestling is objective, and you can look at companies however you want. If you think that triple threat match is a main event worthy match, you'll get no arguments here. You will get an argument here. The argument is the world title is more important than any match besides like a retirement match.
I'd still put a championship match over a retirement match.
I also don't like CM Punk, so I don't care. I don't care. Like, he's just...
I like WWE CM Punk.
I liked AEW
Okay.
CM Punk.
I watched AEW CM
there.
Punk for one episode, and that was his return. And then there was a very nice edit on YouTube of the entire MJF versus CM Punk story.
All-timer.
And I did watch that too, and that was very nice. But I like CM Punk in WWE. Same reason I'm selfish. I want Jon Moxley in WWE just so I can have the 2 months of nostalgia hit me. That is it.
But that's the thing. The CM Punk thing, like, his matches... And I liked his dog collar match with
I don't
MJF.
like a dog collar match.
I love that shit. Hell yeah.
I don't like a dog collar match.
It's violent. But
I am a big fan. I know it's become a meme of a something on a pole match. Anything on a pole match.
This guy hates dog collar matches, but likes on a pole match.
Brother, I can go through some of your take. You like Jinder Mahal as champion. That's
a good heel right there.
That's not a good heel. Night 2 of WrestleMania here. All right. So, can we call it like multi-man mania? Because there's another triple threat match.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. I'm looking at this card here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all
There's a triple threat fatal 4-way, a tag team championship match. There's on the previous night we just mentioned 2 triple threats again. There's a lot of multi-man
it's like WrestleMania
match.
2000.
Oh god. So number 1, probably I hope it doesn't open, but it might, is the women's triple threat. Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair versus Io Sky as champion. What are your takes as of not watching WWE on who's going to win and why?
Io Sky, because Io Sky is better than the other two. I like both. I like Bianca and Rhea, but I think Io is the best. One of the best.
There's only 2 options. It's either Io or Bianca. And I love Rhea Ripley, but this isn't her match to win. Really, I don't know how she's in this match, kayfabe-wise. You can't complain until you get into a match. That's not how life works.
I don't know. I feel like that's happened quite often.
I
think that's happened a lot in wrestling.
It shouldn't work like that. You just annoy the general manager enough until he puts you into a WrestleMania match for a title.
Fine.
Exactly. So, I'm not seeing Rhea Ripley as a champion. The only way she wins is really Bianca and Io take each other out, and she takes advantage, and we get a heel Rhea Ripley as champion now. So back to a heel. But
I think it's Io.
Io has been pushed to the side, treated as a non-threat.
I've seen all that. I've seen those
because the big
clips.
money match is Rhea versus Bianca, which everyone thought, and now Io's just in there. I think Io's gonna win. I want Bianca to win. I think Io's gonna win, but I want Bianca to win just because then from there, we haven't seen Bianca as champion in a while. She did her, in my opinion, demotion to go into the tag team division that is non-existent in WWE. Women's
it shouldn't
tag
be
team,
a demotion, but he's right.
And she had to babysit Jade Cargill. And then when Jade Cargill was injured and off of TV, her and Naomi ran the 2-person division. So we're going to give Bianca her flowers and give her a championship match to go on a run to at least SummerSlam or something. I don't know. Maybe set up Jade versus Bianca at another big PLE. Not pay-per-view. But final prediction, Io winning, hoping Bianca. This is going to be the match of the night.
This is, I think, going to be a great match.
Fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship. Champion Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor and Dirty.
Just call him Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. Because, you ready for my prediction? That's what he's here for. That's what he's here for. He here's to take the pin for our almighty Lord and Savior, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, to get his first main roster title.
He's got the Eddie Guerrero look. He's got the Latino heat with the flame shirt. He just needs the Intercontinental title.
Forget about the Eddie Guerrero stuff. This man was heel, turned heel, and he's gonna turn heel again. How do you turn heel 3 times in one run? It's crazy.
Generational piece of shit.
And the face turn from him when it eventually happens. I don't want it to happen for another 2-3 years, but he's going to be a big star. Dominic Mysterio will main event at WrestleMania one day. I am calling it. But tonight is his night to win a championship for everything he's endured, being booed out of the arena for 3 years.
He lost that match against Ray, right, at Mania?
He's lost every match at Mania.
Oh, so yeah, this is probably it. This is probably his win.
Yes, he did. This is his first Mania match not against his father, so that's good. That's good for him.
Mysterio!
So, we got AJ versus Logan Paul.
It's going to make me sick to my stomach watching Logan Paul pin AJ Styles.
That's what you think's
That's
happening?
That's going to make me sick, yes. Because Karrion Kross has done the whole, AJ, you need to win this match, so he's going to lose it. Every time someone needs to win the match, they lose.
I'm going with AJ Styles because
Okay.
I don't like rooting for Logan Paul. Am I going to not say it's going to be a good match? No, it's going to probably be a really good match, but I want AJ Styles to win for sure.
I want AJ to win too. I just think Logan's going to win it.
No, AJ all the way. So
Nelson, how do you feel as someone who is not in the wrestling loop? How does Logan Paul being a wrestler, like, what does that...
how does that make you feel?
Yeah, how does that sound? What's his...
I've actually seen clips of him perform, and physically he does a good job.
Okay.
As for the culture, I'm not really sure because I wasn't there prior, and I'm still not there now.
Okay.
So, I mean, if he's performing well, I feel like that's a good thing. Plus, it's any publicity is good publicity.
Okay, the wrong answer. You should have said that you want him to die, because that's what everyone on Twitter wants him to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So Nelson, how do you feel about Logan
Yeah,
Paul?
how do you...
I want him to die.
There
There we
whoa,
go.
yeah, bwam, 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 bwam. Yeah, some confetti.
I hate to say that I think I would come around to liking Logan Paul a lot more if he was there. He's only there the week before.
So is
whatever match
Roman
he
for
has.
3 years of a title reign.
Okay, but there's a difference.
Yeah, Logan Paul's a bigger star than Roman Reigns.
You better cut that, Nelson, because
That's a fact. That's a cold, hard fact. It's not. Listen,
in wrestling world, no. In real life, yes.
in wrestling world is part of the real world.
So
Like
we have
Roman Reigns is a bigger wrestler star, but like
Yes.
Logan Paul's a bigger draw than Roman Reigns, unfortunately.
So we have a Sin City street fight versus Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
I don't give a shit.
I
Drew
don't care who
McIntyre.
wins. I'm not a Damian Priest hater, and like you said before, I don't hate the person. I hate the person he's portraying, and I just Drew. I guess Drew.
I'll go
Don't
Drew.
care.
I don't really care about Damian Priest either.
Again, another throwaway nothing match, women tag team championship match. Bailey and the Intercontinental Women's Champion, not defending her title, fighting for the Women's Tag Team Championship, because I told you there's not many members of this division, so they had to take one of their mid-card titles and pair them up just so they can go on the
I
card.
can't believe Chelsea Green doesn't even get a match.
She doesn't deserve one.
Yes, she does.
No.
That's Chelsea Green. That's our United States champion.
Chelsea Green, the person, deserves the WrestleMania match. How WWE has treated her is absolutely terrible, and the mid-card of the women's division, Lyra Valkyrie doesn't even deserve to be on here. That's... I would so much better.
About...
I would so much rather... Okay, this is for the people that are paying attention to WWE. Piper Niven and Alba Fire, the Secret Hervis, should have won.
Is that what they're called?
The Secret Hervis. Yes, they are. Or technically, the Secret Hervis. I think
The
they
Secret
sometimes
Hervis?
sometimes they say that.
That's based. I like
Anyway,
that.
the Secret Hervis should have definitely won that gauntlet match on that SmackDown. They should have had Bailey and Lyra go all the way. You could keep the exact same style that you had, whatever this tag team of Natalia and Maxine Dupri was. I don't like it. Point is, keep the whole format, and then at the end, they had Piper Niven kick out at 1 off of an amazing combo from Lyra and Bailey. That's the moment you strike, you move Piper Niven and Alba Fire. If you really care about the women's tag team division, you have someone who's an actual tag team win. Simple as
No,
that.
you gotta have your Intercontinental
So
champion.
I'm going for Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez because Liv Morgan is everything, and she should have been in any other match other than a tag team match. So let's go Liv, because it would be nice to see Liv Morgan a champion and Dirty Dom a champion. They will be so great together on screen. Both champions.
I'll go with... You know, you sound very impassioned about this, so I'll go with the same. I'll go with
Alright.
Liv and Raquel.
And our main event of night 2. Cody Raheem Rhodes versus John Cena.
Just so you know, Nelson, not his real middle name. I don't know if you could deduce that.
Who do you
know
got?
He ended racism?
He sure did. So who do you got and why?
John Cena, because, dude, the idea of him getting his 17th title reign as a bad guy is so funny to me.
First of all, John Cena
John Cena.
deserves the 17th title. That's just a fact. You don't pull your ultimate ace card of turning John Cena heel and waste it by having him lose his very first match.
I couldn't believe how much coverage that was getting when it happened. Like I was
John
listening-
Cena.
Yeah.
Might be more known than Logan Paul. You want to talk about worldwide? John Cena.
Yeah.
He has the Chinese market.
Bing chillin'.
And Logan, first of all, can we go back to the Impulsive podcast of when Dominic Mysterio's on it and he goes,
And he's
"Are
like,
you shadow banned from like
Japan."
Japan or anything?" And Paul's like, "Dude, whoa, of course I can go to Japan."
Are you like gonna visit any forests or something? He said something like that. Logan's like, dude, come on.
Okay, stop that now.
And dude, Dominic's face the entire time, he's just got like
just
he's
smiling.
just got this little grin of like, yeah.
He knows what
Yeah,
he's
he knows
doing.
he's a
It's
little
great.
bastard.
It's great. Yeah, John Cena's winning, and we are going to get heel Cena until SummerSlam, and then we're gonna get him turning back to the good side because him retiring. You want a good John Cena, say goodbye, have that farewell speech.
He's gonna apologize to everyone. It's gonna be real
Yeah,
emotional.
It is gonna be emotional because we're gonna see our childhood hero gone forever. I think, just like
My
Shawn
childhood
Michaels.
hero was Rey Mysterio.
Shout out, Ray. So, I personally think, just like Shawn Michaels, because I will stand on this hill, I will never watch that Shawn Michaels and Triple H match against Brothers of Destruction.
1
in Saudi
million
Arabia.
likes.
Never. Not a chance.
One.
Shawn Michaels had the perfect career. He never had a match after his retirement match. He is God. So, John Cena will do exactly what Shawn Michaels did. This is his last year. He's going to turn face. We're going to get an emotional speech on the final Raw of 2025, and he will be gone forever. He may do cameos like Shawn Michaels. He may have moments to come up and say hi.
He's gonna have a Saudi tag team match
He
that
will
no one ever
never
watches.
have another match, and it will be beautiful. And that is how our GOAT retires.
I think that this is. I'm just gonna say this because, like, I think I'm just trying to shoot for the stars and like get one right here. The Rock will interfere in Cena versus Cody, and the third member of their little group is gonna show up.
Who is the third member?
CM Punk or Seth Rollins.
Listen, there's a lot
Whoever
of people,
doesn't win that match is joining that faction.
First of all, the internet people, the specific
Marks.
niche of internet people that actually tie things together that make sense and they're not dickheads on the internet, have convinced me that if Punk doesn't win, it's Seth Rollins. He's the third man, and he interferes to get John Cena to win. And it makes sense. He was in the Shield gear on the Raw Go Home show to WrestleMania with your Shield chair. As much as you
Shield
hate it,
chair.
as much as you hate it, they put that together. They keep hearing him be the third person because Rock went 3 people. There's got to be a third person because God forbid don't be Travis Scott.
I
I don't know.
Did
I
you
fuck
see that?
with Travis
Did you see that,
Scott.
Nelson?
You
Yeah.
don't know Travis Scott is the third member of this
When-
Hollywood faction.
Like for when John Cena turned heel, Travis Scott was also there. He ashed a blunt on Cody Rhodes and then smacked him for real so hard in the ear that he popped his eardrum.
Like sicko mode Travis Scott.
Sicko
Yes.
mode Travis Scott.
Travis
yes.
Scott
This
went
is not a
sicko
wrestler.
mode.
This is not a wrestler named Travis Scott. This is Travis
This
Scott.
is the Travis Scott.
Astro
he will
World.
forever.
Astro World Travis
He will
Scott.
forever be in the image of the biggest heel turn
Since Hogan.
since Hogan. Yes.
I did not.
I kind of fuck with the idea of it being Travis Scott. I like so I hope that a third wrestler gets in it, but I really like the idea of The Rock using his power to, like, his, like, actual A-list status to just be like, let me just bring in an A-list celebrity to be a part of this faction today.
Imagine if Travis Scott is training right now. He's right now
my
for
God,
his
dude.
WrestleMania moment.
Hell yeah. Next, you know
Wait a
what?
minute.
Here's my hot prediction. Next year, Travis Scott's going to have a match.
Well, Dwayne, what is your opinion for the final moment of WrestleMania? Is it Seth? Or is it Punk?
Remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.
Make him say something really funny there. Whatever you want it to be.
It's Logan Paul. That's what he's playing.
Travis Scott. James Ellsworth.
Oh, no.
It all
Oh,
comes
God.
back to James Ellsworth. Oh, God.
Well,
I think it's going to be... every year I do the same thing where I'm just like, I'm not watching WrestleMania because like I don't care about WWE anymore. Like I'll still watch it, and I'm saying that as a guy who spent $600 on going to Mania last year.
I spent a lot more than that.
But like I got AEW. Like said, that's the yin yang here. We got the big WWE guy who will watch AEW, and we got the big AEW guy who will watch WWE. But I don't really care. I might watch Mania. I might not, but I think it's going to be an alright show. It's WrestleMania.
So, of course I'm watching WrestleMania. I don't think it's going to be...
I think I work.
I work until... First of all, back to numbers, it's going to be 18 hours of total wrestling. Just for WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's going to be 14 hours of ads and 4 hours of wrestling.
You're not wrong. But just WrestleMania Night 1 and 2 is total of 18 hours. Including pre-show
Christ.
and WrestleMania card and stuff. But they've added... First of all, I went... You know when we went to WrestleMania last year. You went to Night 2. I went to the whole shebang. I went to SmackDown. I went to Hall of Fame. Went to both WrestleManias and the Raw after. And NXT Stand and Deliver on an afternoon, which is pretty nice to have wrestling in an
afternoon wrestling is really nice.
It is. But I am so upset that they have Hall of Fame in a separate arena of people to actually sit and enjoy what's happening. Now, I could be imagining it wrong, but that's what they're portraying. And I sat through from 7 p.m. in my seat till 1:30 in the morning to watch SmackDown and the Hall of Fame. And I only did it because, first of all, I thought Paul Heyman was going to close. He didn't. He opened.
Who closed?
I think it was the whoever the New Day. Oh no, it was The Rock. The Rock closed with his induction of Muhammad Ali, I think, or something.
That's when he got the dumb title.
Oh my
right?
God, his fake title that he's been walking around all the way back at the Hall of Fame, gifted by the wife of Muhammad Ali. The more you know.
Cool, I guess.
I'm annoyed because I had to sit through 1:30 a.m. and people are going to have a separate arena. We're in agreement, though. Loser, whoever the predictions loser is, has to take some sort of wrestling bump at least.
I'll jump through a table.
Sure.
Yeah,
Not this table. I like
not
this
that
table.
one.
This table is mine.
I'll jump through a glass table.
Real glass?
Only if it gets 50,000 likes.
We'll figure something out. But
Yeah.
it's some sort of wrestling bump for the loser. All right.
We'll decide once the loser is set. We'll see how far.
We'll see
the
who
loser
wants to do
go.
what.
We'll see how far we can go.
I'll put on the mask and I'll become El Grande Americano and I'll
El
do
Grande
anything.
Amerirabo.
Oh, that's a gimmick. So thank you for watching.
Yes.
We appreciate anyone who lasted to the
if
entire
you-
podcast.
If you for some reason listen to this entire thing, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, follow us on everything. Here's my Twitter. Right here is my Twitter, or my X. Sorry, the Everything app. Follow me there. Here is the Twitter X. I apologize. Sorry, Elon. Not sorry. Fuck you. But thank you. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, let us know. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know what you don't want us to talk about. If you think we had too many James Ellsworth references, there will be more. That's it. Thank you very much.
Yep, I appreciate you guys too. All my social media handles are going to be at the bottom here. Thank you again, and see you next week on Upper Midcard Productions.
Bye-bye.